This video is brought to you by Artistworks. Artistworks are part of True5 Studios, and they offer direct access to master musicians through their innovative online learning platform. Partnering with iconic musicians, they've crafted decades of industry experience into guided paths of online lessons. Crucially, there's an option to get personal feedback tailored specific to your playing via their unique video exchange. Get direct guidance towards your playing goals. You can use the code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of Artistworks courses. Okay, so my first question around the Fractal FM3 Mark II Turbo, this time is personal, was how much different is it? So I've got the same preset here. This one on the older FM3, you'll see is tickling sort of 78 towards 80%. The same preset over here is 71%. So you see there's realistically like nearly 10% more power, or just over 10% more power in the FM3 Mark II. Now, the reason for this is that they're using newer chips, I believe, in the FM3. Similarly, they did the same thing with the FM9. Basically, there have been chip shortages and all sorts of issues like that. And instead of, fussing about with that stuff, why not just put in a better chip? What this will mean is that basically you can add an extra bunch of stuff to this preset here, right? So if I could add a looper, I can move this, put an out here, out one. I could put in compressor. I can put in chorus, I think, as well. Okay, and then we get to our CPU limit. Whereas I think if I put in a chorus here, I'm pretty much at my CPU limit anyway, right? So you can see if you're an effects kind of junkie, there's a little bit more space to add in some stuff here. You know, I've added a looper, compressor, and a chorus. Here I can probably add in just one of those. Looper, compressor. Let's put on compressor. And output there. If we put in a looper, yeah, insufficient. So you see there's a difference there. Another quite a big difference, and more than I was expecting, is that these actual scribble strips are wildly bigger and like significantly. Like if I take off my glasses, these are just kind of like a white dot to me, whereas these I can kind of still see, which is kind of good for someone like me who has appalling eyesight. So those are the two main differences. Basically what it means is if you were on the wait list for an FM3, you're going to get migrated to the FM3 Mark II, and it's the same price anyway. So there's kind of no downside to this, I guess, unless you just bought an FM3, I guess. But those are the main differences. I believe in the UK we've got a shipment coming mid-August, something like that. So not too long to wait, so that's kind of good news as well. So get in touch with Suk over at G66 UK if you're interested in grabbing one of these. Kind of what you liked about the FM3, just a little bit more. So with it in mind that I wanted to try and use up some of this extra CPU that we've got here, I've got a preset here which is kind of tickling the edges of what's possible here. On our scene 1, essentially I'm going into a Morgan AC20 with a blues OD and a dynamic compressor, like the Ross type compressor, and going into a dyna cab with 2 cabs here, using a ribbon and a condenser mic on the Dumble style cabinet. Then going into a Plex delay with the preset melting delays. This is on kind of a parallel path, and that goes into then the harmonic flange. And on this side here, we go into the Allen Holdsworth swell long on the multi delay, and then into a reverb South Church with ultra high quality. So that then sounds like this. Cool thing is here we're using the ultra high quality reverb, so making the most of that. And then I've also got these 2 delay blocks here which I've separated out to be used only on scene 2. So for scene 2 I've got my compressor going into amp channel B, which is the Carolan OD2, then going into the same dyna cab. I've bypassed these, but I've also set the bypass mode to be mute effects in, so these 2 parts here are then effectively cancelled out. And then we go into a stereo tape delay, and then this side. So a different lead setting, and all of this again whilst we're at sort of like the 80% mark on the CPU. Then I've got a completely separate thing going on as well. So the amp here using the vibrato verb with blues OD in front again, and a slapback kind of analog mono delay. I think we could use various types of delays still. So yeah, we've still got. You can do whatever you like still with this other delay. I had it set up something like 140 for like a slapback. Okay, I don't know if I'd be able to add another scene altogether. Let's just bypass these. Bypass that, and we'll have channel D. I don't know, let's see if we can run a rev. Yeah, or we could run, I guess, like the FAS Class A, which I really like. Could run that even into a channel B here. I could even set this to be on a different, like a stereo tape. So basically you can see you can get pretty bonkers with the FM3, considering this is, you know, like the entry-level Fractal unit now. So you can still run, I think, pretty much everything I would need on a gig, unless you're wanting to do the dual amp thing, which is something I get asked questions about a bit. Then you'd need to be going for the FM9 or the Axe-FX, but you can get an awful lot out of the CPU power of one FM3. I hope that helps clear up, you know, some of the extra what you could do with the FM3. Basically, you got just over 10% more CPU power, and that realistically means you can add a couple of extra blocks to each preset if you're running around the sort of 80% mark on your old FM3 presets. G66 UK is the place to get on the wait list for the FM3 Turbo. Mark II Turbo, and I think they're expecting stock in August sometime, so not a huge wait, so get in touch fairly quickly. Same price as the old FM3, so good news.